First off, guys, if you clicked on our video, we deeply appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to want to tune in and watch one of our videos. It's very humbling to us. Just bear with me here a little bit on my rambling, because apparently if you're watching this, maybe something good come out of it. What I got going on today is, this is actually Christmas Eve. So, and normally this time of year I like to hunt here close to home, which is my core area is the lower end of the, I guess, of the Bankhead National Forest, as you'd call it. And during this time of year, this is when our rut is in, around, or a little bit before, a couple weeks before Christmas in this area, and around Christmas time. So, and a lot of times I have a north wind during this time of year, and I got some spots I like to hunt. And if any of you guys know anything about the Bankhead National Forest, there's a lot of hills, hollers, creek bottoms, and a lot of bluffs. I've had a lot of luck in the past hunting these bluff areas that transition between two big hollers. Some of these spots, these are the only places these deer can come through. And for this time of year, my favorite spot, I got a crappy wind for it. I need a north wind. In other words, today we got a southeast type wind. So I'm going to stay out of that area, and today's plan is I'm going to go into a different spot and try to do some scouting for next year. I've been hunting the Bankhead National Forest here for close to 30 years, so I spent a lot of time up here, and there's a lot of places I know, and a lot of us local guys up here, we got a lot of core areas we like to hunt. But today is I'm going to go in like I normally would do to find some areas. Is I'm going to take and hit these ridge tops, try to keep the wind in my face. I'm going to focus on a lot of these little feeder creeks that lead down into the lake up here. And there's a lot of thickets in the area that I'm going in. Like I said, I'm going to have that wind in my face, and what I'm going to do is I'm bringing my turkey lounger with me. I'm going to slip a little bit. I'm going to set up for just a while, do some blind calling. I love to do some doe and heat calls this time of year, and do some light buck grunt calls, and I'll hit the edge of these thickets, and hopefully I can draw one out of it. I've not taken a whole heck of a lot of stuff with me today, so I'm not taking anything to pack a deer out like I normally would. I'm leaving that in my Jeep, and if I happen to get one, I'll just take the time to come back and give me an opportunity to do some good filming, get some good B-roll stuff, and I'll just make my way back to the Jeep and gather up my gear and go back in and process the deer and get him out. That's normally how us guys that hunt the Bankhead do it. Because a lot of these areas, when you're 1.5 to 2 miles in, your game cart's not doing you a whole heck of a lot of good, not unless you got a bunch of buddies. But most of us just field dress that deer on the ground, throw it in a pack, and tote him out. So doe days is in. So, but I'm not doe hunting today. I was fortunate enough to get a doe last week, so I'm good on that. And hey guys, I'm just going to take the day and do a little scouting and share my hunt with you guys, and hopefully a little bit of knowledge of a lot of you guys that want to come in here and hunt this areas. This is how we do it, or at least how I do it. Anyway, God bless. You have a good day, and Merry Christmas. What I've done, guys, is when I seen it started breaking day a little bit, I got out, got my boots on. And these days that I'm scouting, I'm gonna wait till I can see. That way I start easing in, and if I happen to bump a deer and I know it hadn't seen me or smelled me,
I'll set up and call to it and see if I can lay eyes on it. But I'm making my way down a fire break, trying to be as quiet as possible. Fixing to make my way off into a creek bottom. I'm going to have to cross the creek down there, so maybe there's a shallow spot. Looks like it's going to be hear the wood ducks flying. Man, I love that sound. But today I seen stars this morning, but it's supposed to be clouding up. We got rain moving in, so maybe the deer will be moving. I hadn't seen any deer sign yet. I'm on a fire break, like I said, but I'm about 15 minutes into my walk, so this is a spot that other people can get to, and that's why I'm fixing to book it on down, and I'll be a long ways away from other people. This is one of those feeder creeks I was telling you about, guys. And what this creek does is it makes its way down to a larger creek that feeds into the lake. I've just come off one mountain, and I'm going to make my way up on top of this one here. I'm going to skirt the edge of it. That way I've got the south wind in my face. Somebody's chickens is really cutting up this morning. I need all the help I can get hiding the noise. The leaves are so dry. There's deer on that ridge over there. I bumped them, but they didn't run far. I'm going to sit up here for a few minutes. I don't have an ideal wind for it. But it is the rut, so we'll see what happens. I bumped a small herd of deer. I can still hear them. But the only problem is I got the wind. That wasn't the side I was wanting to hunt. Let's just put it that way. But I'm going to sit here for a few minutes. I was about 45 to 50 minutes in before I seen any buck sign. I started seeing some rubs and scrapes. So I slowed it down a little bit. I can still hear those deer over there walking. I'm going to sit tight a few minutes, give myself time to rest. And I'm going to continue on deeper if nothing happens with this. But you never know with a rut. There could be a buck there chasing a doe. I could help her out. Change my plans. I ended up cresting over the top of that ridge on that fire break, and I saw an orange hat, so I had to spin around and back out. Not sure from what direction they came from. I didn't want to mess them up any worse than I probably already did. But anyway, I've made a big loop I'm set up in the bottom now, crosswind, in between some bluffs. I'm just gonna sit here for a while. Maybe want to cruise through. There is a lot of scrapes in this bottom here on this edge of this creek that I'm on. So maybe I catch one cruising or chasing a doe. Chris just texted me and said he shot one. Not sure what he got. He's hunting this little urban spot. Well, I'm gonna sit here probably 3 or 4 hours, see what happens. I don't want to be wandering around too much with someone in a tree. It's going on 12 o'clock. I've been sitting in a little spot I've found here for the past hour and 15 minutes. I feel like it's going to be a really good spot. It's a ridge point surrounded by bluffs. On this side over here. Maybe you can see that. And this. This leading down to this bottom right here is the only way the deer can get to this side. We got a big holler that goes up this way that ends at a bluff. This little draw back here ends at a bluff. It's walled off. There's fingers coming down over here. This big holler here is bluffed off to this side over here. So any deer coming from that direction, which there's fields, pasture land over that way, anything coming from that direction has to come right up this ridge point right here. So I've got this spot marked. This would be an excellent spot to sit early in the morning. And if any bucks is chasing does, they're either going to come off this ridge, behind me, and come off, or they're going to come up from the bottom. And this creek winds all the way through here, dumps back into the lake. This is a good spot to be sitting in a turkey lounger like I am right now. There's a few trees you might could get in with a stand, but I know this camera's not doing these trees justice. Here in the forest, all these trees that you see around me are huge. It'd take a couple of grown men, 2 or 3 grown men, just to reach around them. But I'm gonna make my way out of here and get back to the Jeep. When I was walking in, I did see a lot of scrapes through here, and that was a lot of fresh scrapes and rubs down there in this bottom, and it's coming right across this, right at the edge of this creek. They're walking it, and like I said, off the base of this ridge point here, there's a trail leading where these deer are traveling up and down this. I feel like I need a good stiff north wind to hunt this. But I don't have that today. I was out here just trying to get some information. Chris did get a deer this morning. Congratulations to him. He got some horns on the ground. I'm gonna make my way out of here. Sometimes it's hard to leave. I know you probably know what I'm saying. It's a long walk in here. And you'd want to shoot a good one back here, because it'd be a lot of effort to get it out. In other words, unless you're hard up, this ain't doe territory.
All right, guys, day 2, public land with the rut in. Today is Christmas Eve, and maybe you can see me without me blinding you. Going back into the same spot from yesterday, and gonna set up on that ridge point that is in between the bluffs, and we're gonna see what happens. So I've got a good long walk ahead of me, and it's not even 5 o'clock yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I definitely don't want to sweat. I did bring me some of my, I think, 69 cent bombs. That big holler had a lot of scrapes down the edge of that creek, so hopefully I can mask my scent a little bit. With a rut on, you never know, but can't kill them from the couch. So let me get at it, and just as soon as I get there, guys, I will get a little video when it starts breaking daylight. Let's get at it.
I guess you can hear it loud. I got one blowing at me. It come in on the backside of me, just burling off the hill. It must have picked up my scent before it ever made it to me. I'm hoping it gets curious, but you can hear it. Crap. Wrong direction. Just a recap of what happened. And it's my own fault. I come in here and got everything set up. What I felt was perfect this morning. The rut's in. And I'm sitting here. I'm actually texting Chris. And I have my phone up. And the wind was blowing a little bit and I couldn't hear. But right over my left shoulder, how I had my phone, a deer comes running behind me, apparently sees me sitting here, swirls and jumped in behind some thick stuff before I could see it. I'm pretty sure as a buck it was heavy feeling, but I don't know if it was a mature buck or not, but it sat behind me here blowing at me for 10 or 15 minutes. Put your phones down, guys. But anyway, it's grab my phone. It's still early. It's 7:17 right now. I did a little light rattling sequence, and then I put it away. I thought I heard a deer slipping through. This thick stuff here, but I never saw it. But I'm gonna sit tight and do some occasional calls. May do a few doe and heat calls. I feel like I can hear something. Yesterday I was hearing what I thought was a deer behind me, but it may be these big fat acorn-fed jumbo squirrels. But I'm gonna sit tight as long as I can. I'm gonna try to sit to at least 12. Longer if I can stand it. I can't tell how big it is. It's running that doe. It's up behind me now. Afraid it's gonna come down on me. Took 3 shots, but I got him down. Yeah. He was running that doe, and I couldn't tell how big he was. But for that excitement, I'll take him. It's a little bit to get him out of here, but I tell you what, wow. Coming here yesterday, found this spot, got busted this morning behind me. Just happened, he come through chasing that doe. And I tried to stay on, but I couldn't tell anything about the size of him. Hot dang. That one first shot, when he bolted, I had just a little bit of opening between the trees. I ain't sure how good I hit him, but he was fixing to get out of here. He fell down there in the creek. Trying to keep an eye on him. That's the only reason I shot them other times. He was in the creek struggling. Hot. Oh yeah. Public land, baby. I hate it sounded like a war zone, but I wanted to get him on the ground. Thank you, God. Hey, buddy. I got one on the ground. Huh? I said I got one on the ground. He's laying in the creek right now. He was outside the ears. Point blank. I mean, he run up my face. Ooh. He was running a doe over in front of me. And I couldn't tell how big he was and couldn't get on him good. He crossed right down here and come up on the edge of the ridge behind me here. And he'd lost his doe, and I started calling to him, and he run right up my face and busted me and bounced off. And when he did, I grunted real loud at him, and he stopped for a second, but he was behind some trees, so I had to swing out from around the trees to shoot him. And he run down here, and I put 2 more in him just to be safe, because he got down in the creek, was walking down the creek with his tail swiping. But you finish your hunting here after a while, I may get you to help me get him out of here. Alright, I'm going to give him a little bit more time, then I'm going to go down and take a look at him, and I'll send you a picture. Thank you, buddy. I love you. Bye. Nothing like having you hunt buddy as your son. We've been hunting together a long time. He's hunting at his house today. Man, I'm glad that worked out. I told myself I wasn't going to shoot something unless it was an 8-point or better, because I'm so far back in the woods. But man, my adrenaline got to flowing with him chasing that doe. Whew. Well, I'm going to cut the camera off a minute, sit here and chill out and relax a second, and I'll pick back up when I head down to take a look at it. Yeah. May not to get to film all this for you guys. My battery's going dead. That's okay. We fixing to get to the most important part. Got a scrape right here. This may kind of look open, but when you get up, it's kind of hard to see. He's a wide little joker. Looky there. Public land. Alright, I'm gonna get him up out of here, so bear with me. Bear with me a minute. Maybe. Get my tripod to sit still here. Well, guys, that's what I came in here for. My plans kind of got messed up yesterday. I was going into a different area and ended up walking in on a guy, so I backed out and went with plan B to follow this creek out and see what I could find. Looks like I found something. Thank goodness. This is Christmas Eve, so this is one heck of a Christmas gift to myself. Guys, I really appreciate y'all and hope you enjoy watching our videos. And if you do, please hit that subscribe button and please pound that like button. If I got any more battery left, I'll film a little more before I get out of here. But right now I gotta send my buddy a picture of this one and work on getting him out of here. Got Christmas with the grandbabies this afternoon. Thanks for watching. Until next time.